This is more painful because you make mistakes in real time, but it accelerates your learnings way faster.
Cristian Frunze is a 17 years old entrepreneur from Moldova who grew an online educational business to more than 50,000 students in only 2 years.
They weren't big decisions. It's not like I started a company of 20 instructors in one go.
Meanwhile, he stopped charging for access, all the TEDx talk, got lots of podcast interviews like this one, and became a grow partner for course creators and educational brands.
I basically got all the value from SmartCurs, which are the lessons, the case studies, the proof that I knew how to build something successful. All of the courses are free, no ads, no free, no sign up. People can freely enter, and I did that because I really think.
Hey, I'm your host, Gabe Marushka with the Nomad Solopreneur Show. Quick one before the episode starts. About 80% of you watching didn't hit the follow or subscribe button. So if you get any value from this, if the stories and learnings from my guests I bring on help you or your business in any way, please do me a favor and hit that follow or subscribe button. It helps the show more than you can probably imagine, and the bigger the show gets, the better the guests get. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Hey Cristian, welcome to the Nomad Solopreneur Show.
Hey, great to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure to have you. The reason why I invite you here is because your story is fascinating. You are my Romanian brother from Moldova. We are in a neighbor countries and we speak the same language. That's always amazed me when people from our region evolve and build something amazing. You start at 14 years old and you build 2 businesses so far. How that happened?
Oh, so it definitely wasn't by intention. I was 14. What did I know about entrepreneurship? But not entirely by mistake. It was more of good decisions, but I didn't know were good at the time. If I didn't, they wouldn't have affected me. They weren't big decisions. It's not like I started a company of 20 instructors, 50 students in one go. It was more like course by course, video lesson by video lesson, and small bits here and there, and lots of incremental improvements along the way. This is how everything grew over a couple of years.
Yeah, that's always the case. Like you make step by step and make decision after decision. But what was the first one, the one that triggered this journey?
So I remember I was 13. I was coming home from my English lessons, and I was browsing Instagram. So basically, yeah, stupid stuff, stupid shit. And I saw an ad that there was a graphic design course, a Photoshop course in Romania here in Chisinau. It was way before the pandemic. So I asked my parents, can I come to this course? So I went to that course. I really liked it. And my parents gladly bought it for me. So I ended up knowing graphic design in between lots of adults in a classroom at 13 years old. This was the first decision why I wanted to learn something new. Of the lockdowns, we basically had no school instead of online school. But I still wanted to learn. Like I was always a very good student. I decided there's a gap in the market, and let's fill that gap. Now, I don't know what I was thinking, like, because I was 14 at the time, but I decided to create a course. I thought, look, there's no one in this market. It might as well be me, and I would get all of the students just because no one has any other choice. And that's exactly what ended up happening. So my assumption was true. The course was average. For a 14-year-old, it was amazing. This is how every gig started.
You applied that skill to build an online course that you notice there is a gap in the market, and that's how you find that gap and you move it from there. But I'm curious to know, how did you went to market? How did you attract your first students to enroll in your course?
I launched my course at the end of August. I remember my first sale, I made $2 on it. And then in September, I had $80 in sales. It was actually very good. It was $80 of profit because I didn't have any expenses. But then I decided I would want more. I already had traffic from a platform called Udemy. This is why I publish my courses, because I didn't build everything from scratch. So with that traffic, my job was to convert it, and I would convert it by showing that my course is good. A good promotional video. Now, wasn't great because I didn't create any promotional video before, but at least it was better than nothing.
I like your approach that you literally take something, you don't perfect it, you just create that minimal viable product in which you showcase something that here is what you get. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you get a transformation there. Most people try to create that perfect educational material. They start building for years and never publish, or if they publish, it's probably they take it off. Did you have any of those? They keep you down and not allow you to actually go out there and put yourself out there? How did you overcome those things?
My joke right now is that my social skills were so underdeveloped that I didn't know I had imposter syndrome. I didn't realize I had it, so I just did it. By the time I realized what imposter syndrome is, I already grew too much for me to care. It's a logical approach. In that sense, it was like a market opportunity and I wanted to fill it. I didn't left myself any choices. Like, what else could I have done? In terms of online business, like drop shipping, I need money for ads, or creating content on social media, you make 2 cents per view. So I had basically very few good choices. All the good choices required other advantages that I didn't have at the time.
When you realize that this is your option, for those that might be in your situation, they notice a gap in the market, they want to build a product. What will be your advice for them in order to fill that gap and to build something without listen to all these voices that tell them, don't do it, I don't know, you're too young or you're too unexperienced? What will be your advice for them?
Those voices weren't there for me because my family was very supportive, but the environment just didn't know I was doing this on my side, so they couldn't tell anything about it. And I would say it's normal to not feel confident in yourself, because obviously you don't feel confident in yourself. You haven't done anything. What proof do you have that you are worth something if you're actually not worth anything? In that case, it's just do the work that makes you worth something. Use that underconfidence to build your confidence, if that makes sense. Prove that guy that you are worth something. Or maybe prove yourself that you're worth something. That's even better.
And it's powerful because we often try to prove something to someone else instead just proving to ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are the ones that be much more proud of our achievements than anyone else. Probably, let's say our parents or family or loved ones might be proud as well. But when it comes to ourselves, we are the most proud of our achievements. And you mentioned you get the support of your family. And can you expand a bit on that? When they found out that you actually run an online business, how that support translated into actions?
In the first phase, the support basically meant not messing up with me and letting me do my own thing. And they cared that I do something productive with my time, like instead of playing games, social media, or whatever else someone was doing in the lockdowns. They were happy I was doing at least something, so we didn't really mess with that. Now, when I started actually hiring people and growing my business, of course, I was still a 14, 15-year-old. I had funds because I had successful courses at that time, but still not enough to hire 20 well-skilled people to film courses. My parents gave me a couple of half the funding I needed in the first year.
And did you hire full-time employees, or how the process of hiring worked?
They are all contractors. I technically never had any employee ever, but right now I do have full-time contractors that work for me. But in the beginning, they are all part-time. I was doing everything relatively cheaply because I needed to.
Yeah, definitely. And I would like to dive into how you transition from validating that idea and scaling SmartCurs to over 50,000 students.
When I created my first course, I already had success with it. So what I basically did is just replicate the same success just for other industries, for other niches, for other skills. We basically noticed, okay, there is a gap now in digital marketing after the course was done. So we decided to build marketing courses. I chose areas where we had no competition. We wanted to compete in quantity, not in quality at that time, because I couldn't afford to compete in quality. I was a 15-year-old.
And basically, you hire the contractors to execute the course in the skills that you didn't have, right?
Yes, of course. I hired experts to film a course for me. We created the curriculum together. I taught them how to film courses. Most of them were experts in their field, but they never taught anything. So I had to teach them everything I knew. Also, I had a team of editors. Like the team of editors is half as big as the team of instructors. We have 300 hours of video content on the platform. That's a lot of content to film. But we identified market opportunities and we created courses based on that. Most of them have worked out.
And when it comes to, you mentioned that you replicate the exact steps that you did for your own online course and how that can translate into action. What were literally the steps that you follow in order to be able to have success to attract students? How did you market it?
Marketing was the most painful part. We tried everything. I already put our courses automatically on Udemy, Skillshare, and all these platforms. They had traffic, so it was pure profit for me. And then I wanted my own traffic sources, so I don't depend on those sources. And when talking about this, we tried SEO, works out, didn't stick with it long enough to be worth it. Instagram content for a very long time worked out again, but growth was too slow for it to matter so much. And then we tried ads agencies, lost all of our budget on digital marketing. We tried it. Then I decided, okay, I would learn ads myself and I would hire an in-house team of marketers. So after 9 long months, we finally reached the break-even point on advertising. It's a pretty long time frame to lose money month over month on ads. Now, we were getting thousands of students, but the CPA was not worth it.
And after you tried that, did you find a way through ads and you double down on that, or you pivot to other traffic sources in order to get students for your courses?
We stuck with ads and moved every other source. Right now, we only do ads for SmartCurs. We managed to get good enough in ads for us to get crazy low numbers. The cost per acquisition was low, the cost per click was low. We had 1 cent clicks, even less. So by this, we managed, without raising the price too much, managed to get profitable. But we still did raise the price for courses. We did that not by actually raising the price, but by adding more bonuses, adding upsells. So basically creating funnels.
I like that approach. Funnels are my middle name.
There weren't any complicated funnels. It's pretty hard to create funnels per educational company where all the courses should be the same price and they are different industries and different audiences. This was the thing that really hit us because it's not like we could build a $10,000 coaching program. This was not our brand identity.
Yeah, true. And after you start becoming profitable, you made a drastic decision of removing the paywall and make a SmartCurs entirely free. Why you did that?
So in June 3, I was thinking on how to grow SmartCurs even further than like with 50,000 students mark. And I basically had 2 options: double down or figure out an exit strategy. And by exit, I mean exit with my time. I didn't want to double down on SmartCurs. I wanted to double down on my second business. So I didn't really want to do that. Now, in terms of our exit strategy, like we did have people who wanted to buy us out. We did have offers. I didn't take them. So instead, I decided I would actually make SmartCurs passive from my time perspective. And it would actually grow in terms of students' numbers. The best way to do that was to make it free. And it was basically killing every bird with 1 stone, except the profit bird, of course. So I made all of the courses free. It's technically not a non-profit because legally it's not a non-profit, but all of the courses are free, no ads, no free, no sign up. People can freely enter. And I did that because I think education is the best way to develop yourself as a person, to develop a country, a society. I made that decision because I had enough profits from my second company. I basically got all the value from SmartCurs, which are the lessons, the case studies, the proof that I knew how to build something successful. And these are way more valuable lessons than a couple $1,000 per month in profits.
And at what stage did you build the second business?
In July 2022, I started working on the second business.
And why did you make that choice? Because from my understanding, you're helping other course creators grow, leveraging your learnings for growing SmartCurs into helping others do the same. Did you notice again a gap in the market? And also you work strictly with Romanian speaking clients or you work internationally?
So at Can, we help experts create courses and sell those courses, basically build whole education business for them. Personal brands related to like courses and info products. Like we made best-selling books, we did a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's education. And I didn't notice such a clear gap in the market because people, it's not like a lot of people come to you and say they want to create courses, but some of them do. And those are very valuable because who wants to create a course? Experts, those who know their field, those on top of their game. Plus, I wanted to expand to other countries. We work mainly in the US, someone in the UK, and across Europe. But basically, 80% of our clients are in the US.
And it's interesting how you grow from building a successful business in SmartCurs and after that transition to actually leverage all those learnings into helping others. And after you start getting traction with Ken and seeing results for your clients, that was a stage in which you said, okay, I can make the other part of my business entirely non-profit to build more awareness to my other business, be more social proof as you mentioned, and then go all in with that. At that stage, how did you leverage the skills and as well the workforce that you have, the contractors that you work with? You transition from SmartCurs to Ken, or you hire entirely new team, take over with Ken?
So the team that actually creates the courses is the same. The marketing team is different because it's also a different demographic. One third of the team is the same right now. It was easy for me to make the transition from my own business to helping others. Immediately as we began working with clients, like we plugged out in our system, we were so sure it would work. We basically worked only on performance then. And like we doubled, tripled, even 5x'd someone's profits in 30 days. Immediately as we began working. So we had that marketing knowledge. We had our clients already had good courses. Now, as we grew and targeted the broader demographic of Ken, we couldn't afford to make such bold claims anymore. We just made sure our skills were better than that and grew the business more sustainably after that point. And when I found out that the opportunity at Ken is better than the SmartCurs, that's when I decided I would double down on Ken, not on SmartCurs.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of growing the business, because I assume you're still in school, right?
I am in high school, yeah.
How did you find time?
Finding time is definitely challenging. Well, I wouldn't say it's quite a problem for me. I was always quite motivated and disciplined. Of course, I did build that with time. I began just removing distractions. Now distractions, I don't even have a craving to check anything on my phone right now. But then there are levels to this game. Like then you may still procrastinate, but instead of procrastinating on social media, you procrastinate on doing busy work that doesn't matter. That's the next level. And then there are layers to this. There's also more priorities that come up. So it's more prioritizing right now. What matters and what doesn't.
And if someone that is in high school right now listening to this podcast and are probably spending their time after school, I don't know, playing outside or staying in front of the computer, playing video games or in front of the PlayStation and so on, and they hear you, they got inspired by you to start learning a skill and putting that skill into practice, what will be the go-to source for them in order to do? Because it's a world full of noise in which you have so much information out there, and it's so hard to cut through that noise and find the information that is valuable for your skill. Let's say someone wants to learn marketing, how they can find the right source of marketing teachings in order to be able to grasp that skill.
This is exactly the moment where my SmartCurs sales pitch comes in. I just go out there and market. I learned all of this not by reading 100 books per year or watching courses. Yes, I did that stuff, but I did this because I needed it. So right now I need to learn Facebook ads. I'll take a course in Facebook ads, but I won't take a course first and then start Facebook ads. I'll start Facebook ads first and then figure out what went wrong and what went right. This is more painful because you make mistakes in real time, but it accelerates your learnings way faster. It increases the stakes. If you want to learn how to market, just market. You don't even know how big marketing is at this point. So just pick a random thing that comes to your mind and go down there. And when basically this stuff, if you don't like it, you have time to switch because you are in high school. School is not an excuse. Just experiment with a lot of stuff. Go straight into stuff. Now, this is very uncomfortable because, of course, you'll make mistakes. You'll be embarrassed. But who cares about you right now? And this is actually reliving because that means no one looks at you. So no one sees your mistakes. You make as many mistakes now so you don't make them when people actually look at you.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a strong advice there because especially at this young age, most of those in high school lived with their parents, and let's say they don't have to take money from out of their pocket to, I don't know, pay rent and stuff like that. That's, of course, put a bit of pressure on you when you make decisions. And it's the best time to start learning. And even those that have other things to take care of, expenses, the advice is still valid. If you can learn something by trying, then it's much more easier than just go procrastinate active, like you mentioned, to watch tons of online courses, read tons of books, and at the end of the day, you don't start applying. In order to stay relevant, you started with a skill and you then transitioned to other by trying and so on. And as you mentioned, you want to make room in your life when you put SmartCurs for free and win some time back. What's your next goal? What will be the next logical step for you?
The next step, I want to focus on growing it to a point. I want to grow it by 10 times until I would be satisfied. And I'm saying 10 times in results, but that's actually 100 times in effort. Even more than that, or in mindset. So this would require some work. After this is all done, it's definitely achievable. I'd really go into tech. It's my passion, and my businesses are not tech businesses, but internally they're basically tech businesses. This is because this is how I like it. At Can, we do a lot of work, but we don't have many humans working. We automated most of our processes. And I haven't seen that in many places. Now, I won't go into that business right now, but building Can, I'm also building something that could potentially be way more valuable. I'm building, again, skills, knowledge for the next step of the game, connections, and so on and so forth, while being profitable, while making money along the way.
Do a lot of things, but a lot of that is done by automations and by technology, not by a lot of humans doing the work, especially in the age that we're living now with AI coming so powerful into the ecosystem. I'd love to know if you use any AI tools, and when it comes to automations and tech stack.
The outreach and sales system are the things I'm most proud of at Can are all automated. We coded our own software at Can. No one has it except us. We have a software that scours the whole web, finds people who might be interested in our services, ranks them from a scale of 1 to 100. This is all automatically, like thousands and thousands of times. We do this with right now 10,000 leads per month. They generate entire personalized lines like emails, calls, DMs, follow-ups. It automatically sends them. Now, it's very hard to implement at scale at 10,000 leads. you do have to have lots of systems in place to do that properly. And then in the sales side too, like the CRM and the automations and all of us, not all of this is automated because you need to call to buy something from us with my teammates, but it's actually very automated. Like when you receive a message, you really think this guy put a lot of care into that message. What we put a lot of care into is the system, not the message.
Man, that's smart. Let's say someone that's listening or your host might be interested to hire you to build something like that for them. You'll say yes?
It would require quite a large sum of money to say yes. It also, I guess, depends on industry. If you're in the same industry, I would say no, unless the offer would be too big to say no to. But I wouldn't really do this right now because it would be a whole another business model. It would divert focus from my main one. And my main one generates quite nice money, so I don't think I should divert from that.
That's one of the most wise things I ever heard from an entrepreneur, because a lot of entrepreneurs are being so easy diverted by the new shiny thing, the new opportunity, the new thing that might make them a stack of money. But you're so focused on your goal and want to stay on your lane without any distractions. And I want to ask you why you're so focused on one thing, because let's say it might come to you an opportunity that can change financially your life entirely and make you, I don't know, financial free, and you still focus on your goal.
I would still focus on my goal, even if I won the lottery. I would still do it because I don't only want the financial results, I want that mindset that's required. There's a very good reason why lottery winners don't stay winners for longer than 1 year. I want that mindset. I want the lessons more. Now, obviously, I want financial security and all of this. On a like the Maslow scale of needs, I would first want that security and then the other goals, the lessons, the educational part. But that goal is already achieved. Once that's achieved, I could care about more noble stuff as well. Yes, I'm focused in business, but I have high school. I can't really abandon that, and I'm still studying while I need to sleep sometimes. So it doesn't leave much time in the day possible. So this is why I need to be focused in every area of my life so I don't lose a big area of my life.
Yeah, that's smart. And what do you do after you finish high school? Do you plan to continue your studies?
My thinking always has been either a very top university or nothing. I got accepted into the most selective university in the world. I won't mention it because I haven't accepted them yet. And I will make my decision later. But I do have that choice now. I applied to very good universities, Harvard, Stanford, to first have a choice. I couldn't really make my choice before I knew what my choice was. So this is why I started enrolling. Now that I have a couple of options available to me, I'll consider it. One thing is clear, I will go to university just because it's entirely funded by them. A very good university, very good network. I could learn valuable stuff, but still, the brand name is indisputable. You can't really refuse that. It's basically free living, student life.
Yeah, and definitely, and it's an experience in itself. That's really smart of you. I can't wait to catch up and hear what your decision is and what university do you accept. What do you think will happen to your business? You'll still have time to run it? You plan to put someone in place to run it for you, or any plans with that?
I mean, I'm already in high school and running my business. So even if university is harder, it can be that hard. University is not a full-time thing, it's a part-time thing. At least that's how I view it. Plus, I'm going to study business. And I chose business not because it is useful, because it is easy. I will have time to actually focus on business, not on studying business. That's my goal. If I would really want to study, I would go to something like computer science or tech sciences, math, statistics, economics, but not business. Right now, I don't want to study. I want to actually focus on businesses. So I will have time to run my businesses.
Yeah, definitely. What would be your top 3 lessons from running 2 businesses?
A lesson that really helped me in not giving up is basically having no choices. And I purposely, or at least making the illusion that I don't have any choice. Because I technically do have choice. Like I could leave everything as it is right now. I would still have my lifestyle. It wouldn't be as good, but still, I would live very well. But I don't consider this a choice. It's like abandoning all. When I first started out, I left online courses as the only thing I could do productively. Yes, I could play video games on social media, stuff like this, but that's not a relevant choice. So I basically removed that option from my choice list. It's one piece of advice that really helped me. Now, you always do want to have some backup cases, but not backup cases for your primary goals. Backup cases for your plans. Let's say this strategy doesn't work at Can, like we'll try this other strategy. Not Can doesn't work, let's leave Can. It's not that thing. It's like different contexts. So that's definitely a lesson. Don't make backup goals. I heard this from Grant Cardone back in my day before he became a fake guru. Don't lower your goals, make your efforts higher, something like that. That's actually what I've always done. Now, people didn't always like it because that meant sacrificing our stuff, but it has worked out in the end.
These lessons you'll carry with you for your entire life and apply multiple times in your future endeavors. Those listening, even if they are at different stage, different age, they still can apply this by, as you mentioned, limiting your choices and making decisions based on results, not by just saying, oh, I tried this, doesn't work. That seems that the entire business model is flawed. No, that's not true. Just that action that you make, that strategy didn't work. You can try something else. And this is so valuable. And for those that are listening and want to reach out to work with you, can you tell them who are your ideal clients that you want to work with and how to contact you?
So we have two types of people who tend to work with us. People who already have some type of educational businesses. And by educational businesses, I mean online courses, coaching products, maybe speaking engagements, books even. And then the other are also somewhat related to the wealth category. Not fitness coaches, not relationship coaches. It's only wealth. And by wealth, I mean business, career. And then the other category is people who want to create some type of educational or info product business. They can reach me out at my LinkedIn. Basically, search my name everywhere. You'll find me.
Right, nice. And I'll put the links to Cristian Frunze connections on LinkedIn and websites in the show notes. Do you have a minimum starting price point, or how is your approach, if you don't mind sharing?
It depends on what has already been done, but our setup for our minimum engagement size is at least $5,000. That's even very low. We usually do work at $7,000-10,000 in a setup fee. And those prices tend to go up month by month. So I don't know, by the time you're listening, it's probably even higher. And we also have performance fees, we could have monthly fees. It really depends on a lot of things. But this is the investment required.
Thanks for sharing that. And what I love about your business model is that you learn something, apply it in your own life, and then you choose the ones that you work with. By my definition, you're a solopreneur, not an entrepreneur who works with contractors, not with full-time employees, even that those work full-time for you. That freedom of choice is so powerful. That's why we're doing it, to decide what we do, with whom, and in what capacity. And to wrap up things, I would love you to tell those listening what would be one action item they can do in less than 1 week to start their own journey into an educational business.
Do the research. Know where the opportunity is. Choose the course topic. Think about your ideal client, who's your audience, what are your values, what you can genuinely teach. Focus on your expertise and then whatever market opportunities and put those together like in a Venn diagram and take the middle one. So figure out, this is the first step as in any business. I only applied it to education. But the research is basically the most important part. Research is hard, especially when you're starting out, just because you don't have any information at all. This is why it's helpful to have consultants or someone who has already done it before. They could tell you that, $100 courses don't work in this niche. You never would have known that, but that's why it's helpful to have exposure to this industry.
Yeah, definitely. And learning from those that already walk the steps that you walk through, it's a shortcut and much more easier than figure out anything from scratch. Thank you so much, Cristian, for sharing your experience and journey so far. Cheering for you to be even more successful. I can't wait to hear your decision regarding the university, and wishing Ken even higher growth and the best success.
Thank you so much. Have a successful day.
I appreciate every single one of you who listen until the end. And if you like what I'm doing here and you find it useful, it will mean the world to me if you can share it with a friend or subscribe to YouTube. Thank you so much, and until next week, pura vida!